legacy that we created. I haven't seen one of these guys. I also want to thank Kirsten Adams for her skillful leadership of our school. Brenda mentioned that our 1991 team was diverse and eclectic, and that's so true. I'd also add that our team was inclusive, and all were welcome to join us. And in fact, the same qualities that helped our small yet powerful wrestling program be able to compete against and usually defeat wrestling teams from huge public schools and larger private schools. Those qualities are now part of the mission that drives St. Stephen's and St. Agnes today. So thank you, Kirsten. What I'm most thankful for are my amazing teammates. They're some of my greatest friends. The Saints who are on stage with me now. This was a great team that struck fear into the hearts and souls of our opponents. Believe it or not. This became clear to everyone when the final round of the 1992 Virginia Independent School Wrestling Tournament started, and half our team, 7 wrestlers, were in the finals of that tournament. By the end of the round, that final round, 4 individuals, 4 members of our team would walk away with individual championship titles. The team itself set a record for the largest margin of victory and walked away with the first place trophy for the 2nd consecutive year. This meant that we were the last state championship team for good old St. Stephen's. And we were the very first state championship team for the newly formed St. Stephen's and St. Agnes School. And together, we continued a legacy of wrestling excellence that started way before any of us ever stepped on this campus. And it continues today under the guidance of the current Saints wrestling coach, Trey Humphreys. On stage are the members of the 1991 team. None of us, by the way, would make weight today. Or be able to squeeze into our old singlets. Although it would be hilarious to watch. Actually, my current email is, beginning of it is KMALIC 142, which references the last weight class that I wrestled in college. And I'm now in negotiations with Google to update my username to KMALIC 190. But I digress. Honestly, let me tell you quickly about our teammates who I'm so thankful for. I'm thankful for Liam Sullivan, who along with the early boys, Will and John, anchored our lower weights so our team could get off to a great start in our matches and in tournaments. Brendan Salmon, who emerged as a force in 1991, the 1991-92 season, and would go on to be a state champion in 1993. Brendan Noonan, my drill partner and bro, was a 3-time state champ, 2-time national prep All-American, and a Harvard University wrestler. An incredible memory that we shared together when Brendan and I attended the 1992 Washington Post All-Met banquet at the Washington Hilton, where we watched in awe tennis legend, great, amazing Virginian Arthur Ashe speak publicly for the last time, because he died a few months later. But it was just an amazing experience that we shared together. I'm thankful for our co-captain, of our co-captains. There were 4 co-captains here. Thankful for one of our co-captains, Eric Foron Langsdorff. He tragically died 4 years ago. He was a state finalist, an All-American, and the 1992 valedictorian of our newly formed school, St. Stephensstagnes and St. Agnes. He was super quirky, to say the least, and so full of love, life, and love for his beautiful family. We miss you, Eric. I'm also thankful for co-captain Joe Shabelsky, aka the Iceman, who followed in his brother Mel's path, won the state tournament in 1992, and became a national prep All-American that same year. Ryan Foster, another bro, the weight loss king of the 1992 season, who was fearless. He wrestled in an incredibly tough weight class, and who I will always owe a debt of gratitude, just simple debt to, because Ryan and his mother Kathy let me live in their house almost completely through the second semester of my senior year, and we had a blast. Thank you, Kathy and Ryan, for that. Brian Simonson, aka the Throwman. He was a state finalist in 1992, but even more importantly, he lived down the street from the school. And so that meant during breaks and tournaments, especially at the St. Stephen's tournament, we could go to his house, and his parents, Walter and Ellie, may they rest in peace, kindly took us all in and treated us like their son, like we were their sons. Tom Demery. Where's Tom? There's Tom. Now, this season was not a great year for Tom. Tom was a freshman in 1992, and he was wrestling in a big boy weight class, so he was basically wrestling against men. And it was a completely brutal year for him. But Tom learned a lot that year, and eventually, 2 years later, won his first state championship in his junior season, and then followed that up with another state championship in his senior year. Incredible. John Evergratz, aka Novo. One of my best friends of all time, and my brother. Another brother from another mother. During this special season, we were celebrating John defeated the Maryland and Virginia AAA state champions and beat an undefeated wrestler from the Miller School, I remember, to win the 1992 Virginia Independent School title. John and I would go on to wrestle together at William & Mary, and we've stayed close ever since. We always share the cheer, go try. Chris Buxton, who wasn't able to make it tonight, excelled on the mat and on the lax and football fields, and distinguished himself as one of our upweight. Andrew Maori, my man, who had one of the sweetest ankle picks ever, was the outstanding wrestler of the 1991 Saints Holiday Classic tournament, state champ in 1991, and three-time state finalist who battled to the third place finish at the National Prep Tournament his senior season in 1993. But most importantly, Andrew and I were fellow counselors in training at Camp Whitehall. And we had a great time, but it was a place that allowed us to wrestle in the summertime and mature and grow into men. Well, that's the 1991-1992 wrestling team. God bless all of us. May And God bless St. Stephen's, St. Agnes.
Go Saints!